Hello everyone, my name is Financial Charles. Today is March 6th of 2024 and currently the Bitcoin price is at around $66,000 and we did see a pretty sizable correction that we haven't seen in quite a while. We did see a correction from the new all-time high of 69,200 or 69,200. We dipped all the way down to below 60,000, so around that $59,000 range. And that was, I believe, is just a buying opportunity. Someone's probably just dumping their coins at the all-time high just to realize some profit, and then surprise, surprise, it just gets bought up instantly, just like how every other dip has been this cycle so far. So this dip is about a 14% drop, which it's even less than what we've seen in 2023 for the previous corrections. Let me go switch to this log scale, and here's the bottom of the bear, right? And then we did see a correction from the peaks of February 23 to looks like March 23. This was a 20% correction, and we already know how big these corrections are. We've seen this all before on multiple channels. Here's another 20% correction, and then here's another 20% correction over here, right? And then even after the ETF, this was also a 20% correction from ETF approval to that bottom. That was also a 20% correction. So this 14% correction really is nothing. If we want to assume that this is a trend that will just keep going down, for a 20% correction, we would have to see perhaps a $55,000 Bitcoin, but that may be a buying opportunity there. Even if it dips down to the $53,000 range, like that would be a blessing to be able to buy that. So this wick was a really quick one. I remember I was in class and I saw it was at $60,000, and I mean, I'm already all in. I don't have any dry powder to be soaking up that dip. So whoever timed that, congratulations. But then again, to time it, saying that yes, you bought at 59,000. Over here, at the very end of February, you could have just bought it for less, 55,000. Like, that's how fast that, Bitcoin's going up. And it's just so funny to see everyone on Reddit get so scared when it's like, it goes from 69,000 all the way to 59,000. But then not even just last week, we were much lower than 59,000. So, yeah, I think it'll keep getting bought up. And this is actually good. The more time that we spend here in this range, the more support that we're building to blast off and really truly create a distinguishable all-time high, because this all-time high that we set yesterday, it was a barely an all-time high. It was just technically an all-time high, but once we get into that $70,000 range, it'll be clear as day that we're in price discovery. And yeah, and just to show you guys the types of corrections that we can get during a bull run. I mean, the last bull run was a bit weird. We even saw this 70% correction here, which that's a whole bear market in itself. Like, that's a whole bear market, you could say. But, we have a correction. I remember here, this is when I started going all in on Bitcoin. This little hill up here, if we take that little hill up, go down, boom, another 20% correction going all the way to the top. And if you consider this, the November 2021 peak, to be the top, you could say that we had an over 55% correction. We had a 56% correction in the middle of a bull run. So, if you bought here, you would have flourished up here, but then again, we would have crashed all the way down to 15,000. So it's tricky to navigate these markets, but even if we go to this 2017 bull run, we could see plenty corrections when it's going all the way back up. And these corrections were quite drastic compared to what we see nowadays. We have a 40% correction there, and then it just keeps rallying up. We have another 40% correction here. This one was a little bit smaller, a nice 25% correction. And then over here, we have a 33% correction. And then from this top to the bottom here, that's another 33% correction. And had you sold during all these and waited to get back in, it's like you would have never gotten back in because the next bear market bottom was $3,000, and here this is still the $1,300 to $900 range. So you would have lost out had you sold, and that's what's so dangerous about selling in a bear market. Here's another 37 or 38% correction, still below what would be the next bear market bottom. And it's not until here you start to get, corrections that are, hovering near the bear market bottom. This is a 38% correction, and then you got here another 27% correction. So really, like, this bull run, we have not seen any drastic correction. It's probably because the asset class is maturing and there's more capital in the asset class, so it takes more capital to move the percentages. Like in 2017, it was a lot younger of an asset with a lot smaller of a market cap, and nowadays the market cap is so big that perhaps we won't be seeing those 40% corrections during a bull run. Like we said, these are all about 20% corrections, and then that's really all we've seen ever since the ETF approval. These corrections have been mini. These corrections have absolutely just been mini, and I don't even know if we can take a nice measured move anywhere here. Like, oh yeah, that's right. There was that one day it went from 64,000 to 58,000 or something. That was only an 8% correction, right? And it's not even showing up properly here. But it was more than that. It was like a 8% correction. I remember I had a video talking about it being 8% correction. So this 14% correction really is nothing. Like, that's an opportunity to buy. I think perhaps in this bull market, I think the buying opportunities might be those corrections that are anywhere from 10 to 25%, because we haven't seen any correction bigger than that. If we see a correction bigger than 25% this cycle, perhaps it is indicative of something else. Perhaps the bear market might take place. Like, if we look at this last cycle, it's like the bullish momentum really stopped when we had this 55% correction. That's when we started getting the sideways chop, and then eventually no momentum to carry it further. So perhaps if we see, like, bigger corrections like that, we can just assume that it might be the next bear market. But I don't even know. We might be seeing a 10-year bull run, as Michael Saylor says. And these institutions and these ETFs and these companies, like, they might not even allow for a 50% drop, because once they see like a 14% drop or a 20% drop, they're going to see it as a buying opportunity. And that's why I think, like, these drops over here weren't even like 20%, because based off of these corrections that we saw earlier in 2023, a lot of people are probably waiting for that 20% dip to buy up. But these people or these big players, they're just front running it. Like, they're not even going to allow it to get to a 20% drop. So hopefully you guys were able to get in at that 59,000 range. But like a lot of these traders say, the trend is your friend until the end. The trend is clearly up, and I don't see any reason for it to stop anytime soon. It's a blessing that we dropped from back down to below the all-time highs, so that way we can accumulate more coins. But yeah, short video today. I just wanted to make a video to acknowledge the fact that we did dip down, and we did go from 69,000 to 59,000. And it surely is not fun to see your US dollar balance go down that quickly in a day. But at the end of the day, like we said, the US dollar balance does not matter. Like, we don't care about what our coins are worth in terms of US dollar. We're here to accumulate as much of the 21 million Bitcoins as we possibly can, because there are over 8 billion people in the world, and new people continue to be born every day. So there's no new Bitcoins that are being created beyond 21 million, but there are more and more humans being born. So as time goes on, Bitcoin per person is going to become more and more rare. And yeah, that's all I had to say for this video. Who knows, maybe we'll still get all-time highs by the end of the week, or perhaps it's still very likely before the halving, which is in about a little over a month. So All right, thank you so much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.